Thanks everybody for coming. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Public comments.
Ken, prayer.
Thank you. Father God, we just saluted the flag to honor our country, the greatest country on earth. But we want to give our vote of appreciation to you being the greatest God in the universe. And we just thank you for all you've done in the schools, for the students, administrators, teachers, the board, everybody involved. God, that you're the one that's in charge, that you're the one that split the school systems, that you're the one taking charge over everything, whether we see it, realize it or not. The key is to not be right about everything, but be righteous about everything and uphold the moral code to protect our kids and give our teachers a safe place to teach, our kids a safe place to come. And I thank you. I thank you for watching over the halls of these schools, for watching over the students, and for having your way in these meetings, because you are the God of ages. And I just thank you now in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Valerie, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to all of the applicants who stepped up and wanted to help take our districts, both districts, into something that we hope is better for everybody and be successful for everyone. I know that it's going to be a scary position and it's scary to think about because it's going to be a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of pressure on those people. And I just appreciate people who stepped up to do that because that's a really hard thing to do. And it shows me that we do have people in both of our communities that care about our schools, our kids, and want to do what's right for everybody and help make us successful. So thank you to everyone who applied for this.
May I join in that? Yesterday in the Idaho Board of Education, if you didn't get to see that online, they were very impressed with 31. They commented on that. It's such an amazing reflection of the communities that we had 31 people put their names forward. So that was noticed, and I agree with you.
That's it. Moving on to consent agenda. Have a motion at all? Or?
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the consent agenda as reflected on the agenda.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on here. Superintendent report.
Okay. I'm guessing that you're all here just to hear my new 3 goals for the new year and not this whole new trustee thing, I'm sure of it. So starting the school year, my theme for the 25-26 school year is what are we doing to ensure our mission of educational excellence for all? So I'm going to ask every employee of the district to think about that every day. What are we doing? And if our decisions aren't driven by student learning, then we need to change our actions. It's important that that's driven by student learning. My goals for the year, number 1 is to plan and execute deconsolidation, creating 2 strong but unique school districts. I have a deconsolidation timeline. There's one on the table up here, and each of the new trustees, there will be one in your new places as well. So I've begun that, brainstorming it, putting some notes in that, and giving some timelines. The first thing on that timeline is to have new trustees, and we're doing that tonight. So the first thing, check. There's still a lot of things on that list, however. And during deconsolidation, we'll talk, that portion of the agenda, we'll talk about that. Another part of that goal is to build leadership from within. We have people who are ready to step up and be leaders and build both new districts, and then also to have the best placement for each current employee, to put each employee in the place where they can shine. My second goal is to find avenues to improve patron relationships and increase transparency. So getting patrons involved, such as those 31 people who put their name forward, that increases our transparency. So involving the community in as many processes as we can, and getting accurate messages out to the patrons about what great things are happening in our buildings. And my final goal for the year is to build pride in our schools. I want to celebrate the graduates that are making a difference in our community, because that is the purpose of schools, is to create adults who make a difference. And then I want to recognize those graduates who are doing that. I want to recognize students that are excelling in multiple avenues. academically, athletically, work, school to work, all of those kinds of things. Just people who are making a difference in the schools, students who are making a difference in the schools. And I want to build pride through that focus, that theme that I'm going to focus on this year is educational excellence for all. In doing some of that, and again, more of this on the deconsolidation, we're working hard on just ironing out exactly what this district is and what our needs are and trying to make the most streamlined move forward. And I'm going to tell you up front, it's going to be a lot of work. Prepare yourselves for a lot of reading.
Great. Moving on to financial report. I'm going to take
Sorry,
over.
just give me some grace here.
Right.
This is Connie's
First
first.
time, yeah. First time.
And our tech guy is on vacation.
Do I need to pull that down, or how?
We've used just the wall
Just
in
the
the
wall?
past.
Do we need to turn off the light, or does it take a while to?
It's working.
It's usually,
It looks like
It's coming.
it's coming up.
It's warming up, huh?
Don't know how to make it bigger.
Would you like the lights down?
Maybe.
It'd probably be better, sure. Thank you.
Can y'all see that?
Mrs. Bush is gonna put the lights down. That's a little better. There we go, there we
Oh,
go.
much better.
Okay. State unit support entitlement, year to date, we're at $2,771,134. Salary base apportionment for administrators certified and pupil services, we're at $4,350,000. Non-certified wages, we are at $950,000 for the year. Employers' benefit obligations, $1,132,683. Transportation, we spent $820,232. Special distributions, $407,976.
Oh, thank you. Can I just speak up a little bit, please?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Interest on investments, $188,461. Other local would be $125,483. Extracurricular revenue was $52,196. Tort tax and personal property replacement, $69,893. There was no federal indirect cost transfer. The supplemental levy, we had $2,309,045. The projected balance forward will be $904,435. So our total revenue was $14,081,538.
Connie, can I jump in there? Just because Connie's the first time, I want to add a few things, if you don't mind. Again, this is all revenue. This was the money coming into the district, and the goal at the end of June, of course, is to be at 100%. On the revenue, if you get a little bit more than 100%, that's a win. Most of those that are about 101 or 103% is because the state is guessing or estimating what they're going to have to give us, and then we are estimating what our enrollment will be. So those are all really good things. That interest income, that doesn't happen always. It just depends on how investments work out. So that 377% is awesome that we got that rate of investment return. And then the last one, the levy. I just wanted to point out that while we budgeted $2,936,000, we needed $2,309,000, and that property tax relief is how that happened. Thank you, Connie.
You're welcome. Sorry. This is our budget year-to-date spent and percentages. So we spent, for certified salaries, $4,798,086. Administrative salaries are $501,418. Non-certified, $1,766,891. Transportation, we spent $455,661. Salaries for subs, remediation, and literacy was $172,276. Per-C benefits were $932,159. FICA is $546,272, sorry. Our insurance benefits for health, vision, and dental were $1,177,367. Workers' compensation insurance, we spent $11,228. Special education, Medicaid, gifted, and talented, we spent $74,616. Contracted services, we spent $216,626. Supplies, we spent $10,158. Curriculum, we spent $360. Travel, we spent $7,125. We did not spend anything on gifted and talented. Board and district professional services, $29,180. Staff training and professional development, we spent $10,928. Leadership and mentorship pay, we spent $18,654. Training and travel, we spent $15,671. District admin business office supplies, we spent $12,717. Renewal of current curriculum, we spent $96,582. Oh, sorry, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, library supplies, we spent $30,080. No, I'm sorry. Our building budgets were $582.
You're fine.
Renewal of curriculum was only $30,080. Library supplies were $20,320. Supplies for special programs was $5,005. IDLA, we spent $27,860. Accreditation went up, so we spent $4,400. Non-student-based technology subscriptions, we spent $60,872. Paper products, we spent $35,866. Sanitization products, we spent $12,560. Maintenance for student-occupied buildings was $226,618. Non-student occupied buildings, we spent $10,790. Grounds, we spent $45,329. Security, we spent $6,546. Transportation expenses, our 85% reimbursable costs, we spent $177,185. 50% reimbursable costs, we spent $24,318. Bus depreciation transfer was $270,627. District vehicle expense, we spent $49,975.
Can you explain
Utili-
what bus depreciation transfer is?
Can I tell you what it is?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know, but I
You
can
know?
find out and get back to you.
I can.
Listen,
Okay.
I can. So when you buy a bus, you get to depreciate that bus, and the state gives us money in depreciation. And when we get new buses, there's a lot that goes into that account, and then as they get older, they give us less each year. So we put it into a savings account when we have extra, and then we transfer it in. So that depreciation was a transfer out for that depreciation into an account so that we can buy new buses. It's a way of purchasing new buses as we move
So
forward.
we transferred more than we were intending to transfer?
Yes, Yes.
Just to,
Well, what's happening, buses are so backordered now. It used to be that when we would go for an RFP for a bus, a new bus, we'd send that RFP out, we'd approve an RFP, we'd have it back in 90 days. They're talking 18 months to 24 months now. And so getting those numbers into the budget to line up is really difficult because we don't know when those buses are coming. We got 3 when we were expecting to get 2 because one of them was super late and 2 of them were a little early. And so that's what happens to cause that.
so you just put a little more in there, just in case something comes up.
Yes.
Like the bus breaks down or whatever.
Well, that's a different fund. That depreciation is the fund to be able to purchase in the future of new buses.
So the reason it was so much more is because there was the one that we weren't counting on.
Mhm.
Okay.
If you're gonna buy a bus, plan ahead.
Sounds good.
Okay, utilities. City utilities, we spent $98,032. Electricity, we spent $335,978. Telephones, we spent, telephone service, we spent $31,853. Internet access fees, $17,565. Property and liability insurance, we spent $164,725.
Negative.
Extracurricular programs, at GHS, we spent, for coaching, $130,150. Travel, we spent $18,822. And supplies, we spent $13,836. For CVSHS, for coaching, we spent $79,251. Travel, we spent $6,630. Supplies, we spent $5,611. For gyms, coaching, we spent $39,998. And supplies, we spent $3,951. CVJHS, coaching, we spent $19,953. And for nothing on supplies. Catastrophic insurance, we spent $1,220 for total expenditures of $12,829,900.
So we estimated that we would spend $14,097,882. We spent 91% of that, which is $12,829. If you scroll back up a little bit, again, those should all be, if you're perfect at estimating, you'd be at exactly 100. A little bit further. I just want to talk about some of the big ones that stand out. A little bit further. Expenditures. There we go. The big ones that stand out there are obviously travel for special education. We coded that a little bit differently this last year. That's why that is. And then down a ways, there's another travel that we are way under training and travel. Staff training, we were 43%. So that's just, we just clarified that coding so that we could track which departments are traveling a little bit more. So that's what made that difference. And then, there's a 712%. Oh, that's the 712%. And then 183% on the accreditation. We are required to do accreditation of our high schools, and that is a fee, but we also are notified now that we have Grangeville, so we purchased this next year's Grangeville accreditation. Accreditation practice, and they've already started, I believe. No?
Yes, and it went up.
Yeah,
Yes.
started, but yes.
Yes. And then, there was another bigger one, 135% there. That's the transportation, 50% cost reimbursement. And transportation is a really wonky situation. There are some things that the state reimburses us at 85% and some things that the state reimburses us at 50%. And again, they don't reimburse, transportation doesn't reimburse in the current year. They reimburse based on last year's. So it's difficult to have last year's reimbursement drive your decisions for this year and get those to line up. It's very, very difficult. The legislature kicked around and got close to approving, making that part of the regular funding cycle, but didn't get there. And then, was that the last big one?
Would you comment on the CV coaching? Was there not a program that
Yeah, I
happened,
believe
or?
Vinny is here. He would maybe have better answer for me. I believe they only had a varsity girls, not a basketball. A couple of programs didn't have enough students.
Yeah, like our football team didn't have a JV, girls basketball didn't have a JV.
Okay, I was just curious.
Boys baseball picked up a few innings, so we don't offer a lot of JV sports or C squad at our school.
Okay. Just because of number of students.
There's a rubric that's used to help determine whether there's a varsity JV C team. And so we have to budget it because we don't know how many kids are going to turn out for any sport, but then based on how many turn out for a sport is how many coaches that they have.
Gotcha. Thanks.
So looking ahead to next year, even though we did spend it 91%, now we have to worry because of the holdbacks from the state, correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that was another part of the conversation, but I will throw
Okay.
those in there. So budgeting's difficult in a school. It's getting way more difficult now for a number of reasons. We'll start with this. We have been informed by the governor that we can consider probably there will be a 5 to 7% holdback at some point this year in the money that's been allocated. So we budget. This is the money we think we're going to get. We build our budget. Now they're saying there's a 5% holdback. In a school budget, about 80% of your budget is salaries and benefits. That's under contract. We can't change that. We can't do anything about that. We can. The board has to declare a financial emergency, and there's hoops to jump to have that happen. So that 5 to 7% is going to have to come from somewhere else. And
The remaining 20%.
of that remaining 20%, which is a big percent of that remaining 20%. Yes, sir.
You say holdback, is that a permanent thing that the state is not going to release, or is that just a temporary?
In my experience, it's happened both. So they allocate money at 4 times during the year.
Right.
And sometimes, in my experience, in January, they'll say, oh, we're only gonna give you a 72% allocation. And then they wait until the next quarter, and then when they know what the revenue cycle is going to look like, they might. A couple of times they've gone ahead and
So
given us all of that plus. Most often in my experience, when they hold back, you don't get it. It's just not there. And so we're starting to prepare for that. I've put some freezes on some spending already, even though the school year hasn't started.
That's a hell of a way to do business, you know?
It's tough. It's tough. And then we throw in the fact that secure rural schools, which is what we've used to cover emergency spending, has not been reallocated.
It's still,
It's made it through the House, or Senate, and it's stuck on the House floor at this point. They had some other things they were working on. I'm hoping they'll take it up now. And then the federal government is withholding some of our title funds. So there's Title I, Title II, Title IIA, Title IIB, all the way through to 4C, I believe. So right now, 2A has been withheld, which is all of our professional development funds. And credit reimbursement. So that's huge. That's helping our teachers be better teachers and learn how to be good teachers. And then the other one is for B, and we use that for one of our parapros. We use that for our hard-to-fill positions. Crystal ball is cracked. I don't know. Sometimes they hold back money, and then they could turn around a couple months later and say, okay, you can have it. I see that there's some pressure to release those funds. I have absolutely no way of telling you. And what I thought experience told me a few years ago is not telling me the same thing now. It's just, we're moving through very challenging different times.
So it's not necessarily lost, but it probably is lost.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
Not just because of whatever they
So-
decided to do in Boise and, you know.
I have sent some
attention loss.
really awful emails in the last few weeks about, sorry, we can't do this. Stop all spending. So. Geez, wasn't that a fun financial
Yeah.
Just on that note, let's get
way to
started.
start.
Well, moving on to business. Good. Good. Oath of office. Everybody in there? Do that, yeah.
Okay, can I please, I'm gonna do Clearwater Valley School District 245 first. So I would like Karen, Troy, Aaron, Thomas, and John to, let's line up right there. How does that sound?
Right in front of these.
Huh?
Maybe say the last names too, for people to.
Was able to say their last name.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I'm gonna have you come in front of the, because you guys gotta say an oath of office.
You need me up there too again?
Yep.
You're stuck.
I do.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm gonna put you in order so I know what I'm talking about.
Karen.
Okay, so I want Karen.
Okay.
Troy. Aaron. Thomas, and then John. I'm gonna drop everything on the ground. Okay. You have cheat sheets, cause I am a nice person.
Don't let her fool you.
Yours is back, sorry. Okay. So we're gonna start, we'll say I, and then I want each one of you to say your full name and what zone you are representing. And then we will do the oath of office, okay? So, please raise your right hand. I
Aye.
Karen Siren Zone 1.
Jordan Sager. I'm not sure if I zone.
Aaron Teets, Zone 3. Thomas James Willard, Zone 4.
John Meno, Zone 5.
Okay. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do
Do
solemnly
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the trustees
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
of Mountain View School District 244
of the Mountain View School District 244
and Clearwater Valley School District 245
and Clearwater Valley School District 245
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I would like to introduce you guys to your Clearwater Valley 245 Board of Trustees. Okay,
Thanks for the cheat sheet.
you're welcome. Okay, so guys, with oath of, so you guys can take your seats, and I will come with an oath of office really quick. Hold tight for 1 second.
Okay.
You want me to move to where I'm in the zone?
So,
I'm out.
yes. Oh, wait a minute, B. So anything that was on your table, will you please leave your, Alyssa will help you.
I believe there should be the timeline.
You're gonna go down here.
In order?
And an
Okay,
agenda.
that's
And
what
you're
I need to
gonna
find out.
leave,
Timeline and
This?
agenda.
Okay.
Grab his name.
and I will just grab this.
Is that?
Yep.
And John's nameplate. Tracy.
What's that?
John's
Oh,
nameplate.
Goodies,
sweet.
and away I go.
I think we have extras if somebody's missing one.
So what do we need to give back?
The timeline
And the agenda.
and the agenda.
I need driver's licenses or some form of photo ID.
Perfect.
And then my book right here. You can pass it. Perfect. Sign your name right there.
Oh, okay, thanks.
You can have John sign the book, yeah, go ahead and pass it on.
Oh, John, up here. Your name's right here.
Oh, there, sorry about
Yep,
that.
just sign right there.
Ah,
I'm trying to streamline really fast. ID.
It's what I'm working on.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Right there.
Your house the other day, yesterday.
Oh, really?
Not your house. Diane's house. They left a helmet up there from she was asking for
Yes, we will collect all of it.
Did you get that pickup out of the river?
Yeah, I get a cardboard one for a year.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was there to get his stuff.
You guys cannot take these home. Okay?
Considering he was very.
John, did you hear what I said? Don't take them.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Don't take it, is that what you said?
Okay, then I need to get back over here. Okay, can I please have Tyler, Jamie, Melissa, Bernadette, and Larry in that order lined up, please? Okay, remember the drill? Okay. I.
Heather Harrington, Zone 1.
Jamie Russell, Zone 2.
Melissa Lane, Zone 3.
Bernadette Edwards, Zone 4.
Larry Dunn, Zone 5.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the trustees
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the trustees
of Mountain View School District 244
of the Mountain View School District 244,
and Clearwater Valley School District 245.
Grangeville School
Oh, I'm sorry,
District
246. Grangeville, let me flip my cheat sheet. Grangeville School District 246,
Grangeville School District 246,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
That's my only mistake tonight. I am so proud of myself. I would like to introduce you guys to Grangeville School District 246. Oh, let's load her out of
She moved to be closer to her grandparents.
So I'll have Larry take some words.
Am I gonna be the hand in?
Yep, right here.
Okay.
Do you need one?
You have yours?
I do.
Just mind you. Perfect.
Just sign it.
Yep. I need you to sign right there. There was a pen. We need to find some more pens.
Here's another one.
Thank you. Okay, we're good. Okay. just need the top copy. Yep. Nope. I put all the dates in to make it smooth.
I have a friend who has 13 children and kind of feels like her right now.
Sounds terrible.
What? Yeah. I can't even imagine making a dinner for 13 kids every day. What bedtime looks like with showers, laundry. Yeah, they do. And we're kind of spoiled in our household, always were about laundry, like I wasn't tired, because it was just, she has to be really.
Always prepared. Okay.
Not too bad. All organized.
I'm not done. Not done. Here is your email.
As she's handing those out, I'll explain. As trustees of the school district, you have an email that is a public record, by the way. So it's really important that you recognize anything you send or receive through that email is public record and is subject to a public records request. But that is how we will communicate with you. If we have to send you board packets, if we need to let you know that there's a meeting, that is the email that you will do the business of the school. So that's the login information. It's a Gmail account.
Quick question. Is,
Yes.
when you're sending out stuff, do you also send a text message saying you have a new email or anything like that?
No, but I could try to add that to the repertoire.
I'm just thinking for timely,
I-
checking of emails. it might
Yes.
be applicated.
Generally, if there's something that's really important, I will send a text message that says, you know, important business, please read your email. We
Okay.
can't I need to restate that. We don't do business through emails.
No.
It is simply to inform you of information, but I might say, important information has been sent to your email, and then, yes. So I will need, I think I have all your cell numbers. I'll verify that, and if I don't, I'll reach out to you to get cell numbers.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Okay, and then current emails that you, Mountain View board members had prior to doing your oath of office, those will not be deleted. We just gotta ask Michael if he'll forward them to this new one. So we gotta see what'll happen with those, but they won't be deleted. I'm done.
Done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, then
For the time being.
we can move on to approval of policies.
So, these are the policy 1600 Code of Ethics and policy 1601 Duties of the Individual Trustees. They are the current Mountain View School District policy, no change at all, with the exception of adding Clearwater Valley Clearwater Valley School District 245 and Mountain View School District 246 in those, so that you are representative of both. And that would be 4 motions, by the way, Chair Harrington.
4 motions.
4 motions. So, yeah, so the first motion is for
The Clearwater Valley.
Clearwater Valley.
These are in action. These guys get to do the first action. They can lead the way. Yeah.
Okay, are we gonna vote on that?
These guys are.
Only they are.
You're going to ask for the motion and accept the motion and call for the
You want me
vote,
to- okay.
but they will do the,
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
No, so you're gonna have to help me out a little bit
Policy, yeah.
because I don't know
Okay.
faces and voices yet, okay?
Okay.
To approve policy number 1600 Code of Ethics.
So
that-
moved.
That was
Aaron
Aaron,
Tees.
Aaron.
okay?
I'll second it.
Second.
Troy.
Troy.
Troy, okay?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, it's passed. Moving on. Do I have a motion to approve policy numbers? Oh, wait.
So you're doing 1600B now, the same code of ethics.
1600B,
So
yeah.
it goes
Policy
to-
number 1600B, Code of Ethics.
So
Now
it
that's
goes to
us.
Greenville.
For Greenville. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt policy number 1600B, Code of Ethics.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
B, is that you?
Yes.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve policy number 1601A?
Back to you guys.
John.
John?
Trustee Mel?
I make a motion that we approve policy 1601A for the Clearwater Valley School District.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. Thomas?
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion for policy number 1601B?
I move that we accept policy number 1601B, duties of the individual trustees for Mountain View School District 244, 246.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so Tyler, you're gonna have to hold on so you get a bunch of signatures again.
This is the second one, if you'll sign it and send it down. This is the first one, sign and send it down. This is the second one, send down. Mr. Chairman, while you are signing, I want to point out that in planning and trying to make this as clear as possible, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to recognize a chair and a vice chair for Clearwater Valley School District, a chair and a vice chair for Grangeville School District, and then a chair and a vice chair for Mountain View School District. Because sometimes all 10 of you will vote and sometimes the 5 of you will vote. In an effort to make this less confusing, my recommendation is that the chairs of the 2 districts become the Mountain View chair and vice chair. Whether it's Clearwater Valley's chair that becomes Mountain View's chair or their vice chair. Either one, but if we took the 2 chairs, that will make it clearer and easier for the board to work.
Can you say that again?
Okay, so in a moment, you're going to have a chair and a vice chair for Clearwater Valley, a chair and a vice chair for Mountain View. My recommendation is that the 2 chairs serve as the chair and vice chair for Mountain View. So if Mountain View's chair is the chair of, if Grangeville's chair is the chair of Mountain View, then Clearwater Valley's chair would be the vice chair, or vice versa. That will reduce the number of people who have to be involved in agenda planning and all of that kind of stuff. I literally lay awake at night thinking about how are we gonna make this happen? Chair Harrington, if you'll call for a chair for Clearwater Valley School District, or for a chair and a vice chair.
Want me to do that?
Mhm.
Do I have a nomination for a chair of Clearwater Valley District?
John's the most experienced person here, so I nominate John.
Okay, so hold on. Okay,
Does he accept?
Do we have
Do
a
you
second
accept?
for that?
I'll second it. Aaron Teets.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Now, do we have a nomination for a vice chair?
I nominate Troy B. Sacker.
okay, hold
Got
on.
it.
Hold on.
You don't have to accept it.
Hold on, hold on.
And dark.
Good vote there.
This is kind of fun to watch.
I seconded
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thomas Willard.
Did I miss you saying that? And I,
You did.
You were probably typing.
Yeah. Discussion? All in favor?
so, well,
Do you accept that?
well,
You do, okay. That's my
First
discussion.
and second.
will, Mr. Mendo.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Chairman
you.
Minot, you take over.
Mike.
You need to call for a vote.
Okay, all in favor of, I'm not even sure. Troy?
Troy.
Okay, all in favor of Troy as vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, passed.
Thank you. Okay.
On to Grangeville, huh? We need a chairperson. Any nominees for chairperson for Grangeville School District?
I move that Tyler Harrington be the Grangeville
Sounds good.
chair.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, hang on.
B and Melissa.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Lane? Lane?
Yeah.
Last name, okay. You know, I can only be so prepared when I'm not prepared. Okay, I'm ready.
Now we need a vice chair. We have a nomination for a vice chair.
I move that we have Larry Dunn be vice chair.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, who's seconded, please?
Jamie.
Russell.
Hold on.
Do you want to take over for the Mountain View?
I think Alyssa should.
And open nominations for, remember, we had a discussion, that's of course between you guys. It's just my recommendation that we recognize the two chairs as chair and vice chair. So are there nominations for chair of Mountain View School District?
I move that Tyler Harrington be the chair of Mountain View School District.
And the vice chair be,
And
It'd
the
be
vice
another
chair
motion.
be.
oh, sorry,
It's
it
another
has to be
motion.
another
Hold on,
motion, I
hold on,
apologize.
hold on.
I knew that.
So I did that.
Motion for Tyler, Aaron.
Okay, hold on. You guys are like way too quick for me.
They're fast learners.
They are very fast learners.
I need a picture with their name on it. Like,
I do, well, I need to just get their voices.
Yeah.
And then I'd be fine. I'll get there, I promise. Okay? Edwards and Teets, right?
Yep.
And Mr.
I need a,
Mr., now you get to go back to you because you're the chair already, so you get to ask for vice chair. Oh, right,
We need
sorry.
to vote.
I guess you
We
should
need to
vote. You should probably vote. Is there a vote? Please, if, those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Congratulations.
Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
I move John be
I'll
vice chair.
second. So Teets and Edwards.
I know these boys.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, moving on.
And we already signed the code of ethics and all of that.
And your
Vote back.
duties of the trustees.
Duties of the trustees.
You did both of
We
those.
did both
Oh,
of
we
them.
did, well, we got that.
We did them.
Alright, set time, place, and date for, regular board meetings.
So these are the,
Kind of established, right?
these are the meetings that were already established by the Mountain View Board at their regular January, organizational meeting. The only changes is that a board this size will not fit in the boardroom. So anytime we meet in Grangeville, we will meet here at Grangeville High School, not in the boardroom.
You guys have any
All
objections to that?
10 get a vote. I need a vote.
This time.
Well,
Mr.
we
Chairman,
have-
I make a motion that we adopt the regular monthly meeting schedule we worked on the agenda through December
I'll second that.
Oh, okay.
And if we can't meet, we can join by, like, internet or phone, or you can not attend. I mean, there's limited.
We have a town forum, otherwise they can't.
Don't show
We should try to
I
meet.
already know I'm gone on August 21st
Me too.
and out of
Oh,
internet,
really?
off
Okay.
grid, gone. So
Yeah.
I will not
Can-
be
We
there.
have a motion on the table.
We have a motion, so
We had a second.
We had
we
a
have a
second
second,
with John.
so we have discussion.
I'm just letting you know I'm out of service.
You're out.
Won't be able
Me
to
as well.
You're
Skype.
out.
Nothing.
I could be out of service
Sometimes
too. I'm in
I
that country until then.
My daughter's getting married, so I
Is that,
trump you.
is that? So,
I'm kidding.
do we want to,
You still
I mean,
have
we'll
a-
have to close this down, but we can discuss more.
Yeah, but you will still have a quorum, and it's the August meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll still have a quorum.
With three
How many is a quorum with 10?
Seven.
Okay.
Well,
Six and a.
seven.
7 when it's a
Six-
Mountain View vote.
6 in open,
Mhm.
but 7 to go into executive.
I have to make it my feast in the future.
I think you'll.
You're okay with,
Okay.
you're okay with missing, and you're okay with missing?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's fine. It's
I
already
think
scheduled.
with 10 members, we're not gonna make everybody happy.
No.
That would be fine. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor of this schedule?
Aye.
Alright, moving on. Approval of food service fee increases. Actually, Chairman O, would you like to give us more insight or anything
Well,
you found?
I'm gonna toss a couple things out here. I sent an email out. The folks I had emailed addresses on earlier this afternoon, and I'll just send out copies or print out copies here now. I have a lot of questions, or a number of questions. We're only talking about 25 cents per meal for the kids. It's not a lot of bucks. It's fairly minor or whatever. However, when you put the numbers together, okay, we got over 800 kids in school. So we're looking at $1,000 a week or $50,000 for the year. That's not insubstantial.
Thank you.
At this point, I would like to go ahead and make a motion that we move forward and accept that 25-cent increase. But I think that at the same time, we need to think about things that I put in this email, what are these costs? Why did they go up as they did? And I know you signed the contract for this next year, which included an increase in that, which I believe covers that cost.
I did prepare answers for your questions.
Okay?
I was on top of
Alright,
it this
alright.
afternoon.
Anyhow, I will let you give that too,
Okay.
but again, I want everybody to know that I'm not against the increase per se, but I am concerned about when we get into the finances of the school, little things actually mean quite a bit. Again, a quarter a day for a kid, can turn into over 50 grand a year. That's a lot, to me. When you're talking $14, $13 million a year, it's pocket change. But again, for me, it's a bunch. So things to think about as we move forward with both districts. What do we need to do? How do we need to set up? Do we need to draw some lines to where these things do come before our board before we actually have to deal with them and, do something about them?
Good. Would you like me to answer some of your questions
Sure,
now?
I would love it.
Okay, so earlier today, 2 o'clock or so, I got your email and I dove right in. And so your first question is what food services are provided by Chartwells? And let's back up just a minute. You as a board approved in April of 2024. That was prior to me working for the district. An agreement with Chartwells and for renewal. So basically a 5-year renewal with Chartwells. Part of a food service plan is that they can ask for increases as wages go up, as commodities go up. And so that is part of that. And the number that I'll get to that, sorry, let's stay in order. Okay, so your first question was, what food services does the school provide? What does Compass Group provide to us? And they provide, actually, in this district currently, we have lunch and breakfast. We have had after-school snacks when we've had after-school programs. We didn't have any this year. Summer food, we have the simplified summer food service program because we have a running start program for our kindergartners, and so they provide a meal during that time. We have a fresh fruits and vegetables program that's paid for with a grant. We have, they can buy milk. We have a la carte in some of the buildings. They do cater in the past, like 15 years ago when I was with the district, they catered a meal for the entire staff. We haven't done that in quite some time. So there's a variety of services. Those are outlined on page 6 of the agreement.
Okay.
And then your next question is, what is the cost of each of these? I think that there was some misunderstanding in your questions about the cost because that $4.35 that became $4.53 is actually the federal reimbursement. That's what the federal government pays us for a meal, and that's a reimbursement that comes to us. And so what happened also in your board packet is the budget worksheet for food service. And at the beginning of the year, we had a fund balance in food service of $164,515. That was due to COVID. Having been around since the beginning of time, food service in districts runs in the red everywhere. You really can't charge kids or get from the federal government what it costs to run. So you have to make a local decision to support a food service program. And so, but we had a fund balance. Why? Because during COVID, the federal government recognized every single student as eating and gave us money, their federal reimbursement for every student who was eating. So all schools across the nation, they all of a sudden went from running in the red to running in the black for food services. And so that has carried us, since the COVID money's dried up, that carried us through 2 years. Going into this year, we had $164,000 in that account. And then so when we took that money and we added it to the revenue that was collected by students paying for meals, the federal reimbursement, that became $405,115. That's about a little bit more than halfway down on your page to the right, just a little bit. However, our expenses, what we had to pay Chartwells, and Chartwells, we pay them a fee. And then the more meals that they produce and sell, so it's kind of an incentive program, they can charge us a little bit more for that. And I'm going to give them a kudos to doing the best job they can to keep their prices down. They're watching those meals, and they have a meals per staff allowance that they'll allow. And when we had fewer students or fewer students were eating, they reduced their staff. So an example I have is in 23-24, this is not they are not employees of our district. They are employees of Chartwell. I got this number from there. Their employment, what they paid their employees was $261,000. In 24-25, they reduced that to $248 because we had fewer kids eating, so they needed fewer employees. So they've worked hard to keep those numbers down. But what it costs to feed the kids in this district was $494,334. Which ran us in the red, back to the pre-COVID days. We ran in the red of $88,638. And so what we're trying to do is increase our revenue to reduce that gap. And so adding that 5 cents to each of the meals.
Superintendent Holthouse,
yes.
You said the more meals we buy, Chartwell's charges us more, but I think you meant less.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I apologize. Yes. So it's a sliding scale because of economy and numbers. Next questions was about the RFP process in 2024. You did run an RFP. You approved a 5-year contract. When I signed the contract, that is an agreement that, yes, we're going to continue on for the next year because we have the right to discontinue. The federal government controls how much we can increase and the maximum that we can charge. So the 5-cent increase is within what the federal government says is an appropriate amount for meals. Going down through your questions, yes, I signed the renewal. I already talked about the amount of money that we paid. And then the final thing, one of your questions was how many meals were served. And this is a really, I don't have enough for all of you. I'm not used to this 10-member board thing yet. If you do want to see it, so for instance, at Clearwater Valley Elementary this year, they served 23,441 meals to students. Okay, so that's Clearwater Valley Elementary. I'm just giving you kind of examples. At Grangeville Elementary Middle School, that is our biggest. This is just the elementary, kindergarten through 6th grade. They served 38,091 meals this year. And so this is a breakdown of how many meals. I'm sorry, one more question that you asked is, can adults eat? Yes, they can eat. They pay $6 for their meal.
Oh, okay, so the adults pay more.
Yes, yeah, they're not subsidized. An adult meal is not subsidized at all,
Okay.
so they have to pay the larger fee.
Okay, and again, to me, it's just a matter of us understanding what all is involved, and as, trustees or whatever, we're kind of on the hook for these things, and I think we need to have a
Due diligence.
understanding of what we're actually signing on to.
Due diligence. I also have here area schools and the prices they pay for their meal
That would be
services.
great.
If you would, if anybody wants those, I have those for you as well. Okay, did I answer all your questions, hopefully?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
And again,
Well-
it just, I was just gonna say, the other question that, needs to be looked at too is, at what point do we as board members, need to review something before it gets signed? When costs are involved that involve significant numbers, and again, this is a policy area that I don't think is addressed in our current policies. But maybe it's a policy area that should be discussed at some point, just so that we're all on board with what's happening financially within our district.
And as a matter of fact, I believe it's in the policy set that you're going to read for the month of August.
Okay.
And it is policy. Renewals are within my
Okay.
purview to sign. However, I couldn't do the original. So when you went to your RFP originally, Kim Spacek signed that, but that was after a
Sure.
board approval. And then there is a limit, a dollar limit that I can
Yeah,
encumber
that's
the
my,
district to.
again, one of the questions I had.
Mhm.
Anyhow, okay.
That's great. Good questions.
And that's why we get our board packets a week ahead of time, which is really nice, because we used to get them like the night before, and it's nice to have them through email as well. So that's a nice change that Tracy's added.
Thank you.
And as the chair, you will know what's going on the agenda, and so you can, you'll be setting the agenda with
Yeah.
your board clerk. So you'll be the one that can tell that to people, hey, this is coming up.
Great, and that's.
You
the other
guys
thing we
have
need.
a big interest in this.
Yeah.
Chair, I believe. Did Trustee Minot, did you make a motion?
I did
Trustee
make a
Minot
motion.
cannot, I'm sorry, Trustee Minot cannot make a motion. He is a chairman.
Oh,
No,
I
no
forget
motions
that.
for you. No more motions.
But-
No.
Any other
He's
comments?
in this case, he's the vice chair. This is a district decision. Okay, I'll defer to you.
What do you think?
Board clerk of the year, I'll defer to you.
I almost just kinda wanna keep it clean. What do you think?
Just keep it clean.
That's it.
Just play it safe.
Okay.
Plain and safe.
I don't know, I've never done this before.
That was the only
Did she just say she was
rule
awesome?
that we had prior to our revision of board procedure rules, and now it's still in there, but that's been the case for
Okay.
years.
So shall we leave it that?
A chairman cannot make a motion.
Okay. A vice chair can. So let me clarify, you guys, just so you know, a chairman can make a motion if he so chooses to pass the gavel.
That's right.
So,
Can he call for a motion?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's,
Then let me call for a motion to move forward and approve the increase in lunch fees.
So moved.
okay, so you have to say your motion.
Alright, I'm used to doing search and
You
rescue.
actually have to say, are
Alright,
you approving the food service fee increase?
I move to approve the food service
Perfect.
fee increase.
Thank you.
And I'll second that motion.
Trustee Dunn was down there waiting.
I know, I'm sorry.
I didn't do that, okay? I did not do that.
You want to carry that through?
Hang
Carry
on.
this motion through?
He needs to, no, cause this is actually a
Mountain.
Mountain View,
View,
so
so you
it's
want me to
he.
take over, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And Larry, did you do that one?
He seconded it.
I second.
Okay.
So, we have deconsolidation on the agenda, just in case we had things to talk about or do, but is
Well,
there anything that came up?
there are a couple of things. Obviously, the first task of deconsolidation is the new trustees. Congratulations and thank you for your service. One of the things that you have at each of your places is this timeline. And I want to give you some warnings about some things that are coming up. If you don't have one or can't find it, I have a couple extras here.
Oh,
Who's missing one?
Oh, I said I had a couple extras, I have one.
I don't.
Okay, so these are not in any particular order. They're on this list because as we have brainstormed them, we have put them on here. And as you read these, if you don't understand or if you have questions, please reach out to me. You can email me, call me. I'm very open to that anytime. So the first thing, trustee appointment, that was done by the Board of Education and you were sworn in tonight. Some things that I want to point out coming up that are on our horizon. One of the things is that policy manual. The policy manual is about 1,000 pages. If you read the Tribune, you saw that I made a reference to that. You don't want to read 1,000 pages in 1 month. You just absolutely don't. And so I am proposing that we do one series a month. And my hope is that we get the series to you soon, like next week. You'll get the 1,000, the series called 1,000. That's Board of Trustees duties. And you read that and be prepared, and then we have them separated. Like one of them, it's Mountain View's policy. We changed Mountain View to Clearwater Valley. We changed Mountain View to Grangeville. Read them, and then at the next month, at the August meeting, you will take action. And you can do things like approve the entire package because they're already being used by Mountain View School District. Or if you see a policy that just doesn't work for your new district because we're going to be two new districts, you can say, I move that we approve the 1,000 series with the exception of, and then outline the ones. And then you will work on those policies and update them as they come. So that's one of the things that's coming at you, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of reading to do. I've been knee deep in reading through all of them, looking for editing errors, Mountain View School District errors. There's a number of things that say the board will do every year. I'm making a list of those. The superintendent has to do. Tech directors wait till the principals come back. Don't tell them there's two in this room. They have a ton of reading to do too when they come back on August 4th. So that is one thing coming at you, warning. Another thing, we are busily working on, this is not a board action, all the forms of the district that say Mountain View School District. We're in the process of updating those forms, changing the years, and changing them. For right now, they'll continue to say Mountain View School District, but by the end of the school year, we will have Clearwater Valley School District forms and Grangeville School District forms. We're working on that in our office now. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say the next word. It starts with an L. Levies. Okay, I'm going to start with saying this again and again and again and again. You currently have a levy that expires on June 30 of 2026. That will carry you through this upcoming school year. But you have to think ahead. Levies take advance, and so you have to be planning ahead. Idaho used to have 4 dates that you could approve a levy. We now only have 2 dates that you can approve a levy. One of them is in the November election. The other is in a May election. If you're brave, you put a levy out in May that would be elected in May and certified by the county commissioners in late May, early June, and they start collecting on July 1. If you're cautious, you give yourself November, and then if it fails, you have a second attempt. If you go with May, you don't have a second shot. So, warning to you, that decision, if you're going to go on the November ballot, that decision has to be made by August 29th. And that's going to be a little bit of using a crystal ball to know what you need that far in advance and what the state and the federal government is going to do. That's your first really tough, going to keep you awake at night decision that you're going to be making.
In light of the deconsolidation, will we be voting on that separately?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
that'll be a separate issue?
Because it will go into effect after Mountain View School District no longer
Correct.
exists. So the Clearwater trustees will make a decision on if they want to run a levy or not, and if they do, what amount, and if they do in what amount, what date. And then Grangeville would do the same thing.
Now, the other thing that goes along with that then is we are going to need the financial picture for the Clearwater district, you know, separated out from, you know, Grangeville and Mountain View, so that we have an idea of what we're facing compared to. Yeah.
Yes. To be very honest with you, it's 28% of everything.
Okay.
And so, but we'll get those numbers desegregated for you so that you can see them and make those decisions. The facts are, in Idaho, the legislature pays for about 75% of schools. And then the other 25% is a local decision. And so what that 25% looks like or doesn't look like is going to be up to the two individual boards. And I want to say one more time before Trustee Edwards, we are not having another levy on top of an old levy. The old levy will expire on June 30, 2026. Anything you vote on in the upcoming year would begin on July 1st, 2026. It's not additional, it replaces an existing, if that's what you decide.
Well, and something that might relieve a little bit is if the boards vote to run a levy and then the legislature comes through, then we can run a smaller levy. We can do a lesser number than what we ran it for, right? But we cannot, if we don't know what the legislature is gonna do and we don't run a levy, you can't then make money come out of anywhere.
Right.
So,
So if you don't need the money, you don't take it. So I'm just throwing a number out here. Let's say that you run a levy for $1 million, and then the legislature funds schools differently, and you don't need the $1 million. You don't collect that $1 million, and so the county just doesn't put that on your taxes, and so you don't always have to take everything you ask. That's sort of working that way this year already. Not because we didn't need it, but because the legislature funded a tax relief bill to pay off some of your levy.
so instead of 2.9, we collected 2.3.
Correct.
But, yeah.
I hadn't thought about this, obviously, that August 29th deadline concept. I can't see, thinking about what Mr. Minot just said, last year, before we had the vote on the current 2-year levy, we had those, what I'll call extended hearings, meetings about the levy. I can't see where it would be remotely, could be possible, but it wouldn't be prudent, much less respectful to the public, if we didn't do something like that. Were either district to plan something for August, because, I mean, just what we discussed early on in this meeting about this holdback, the lack of SRS funds. I mean, there's one of the crazy makers in this business is the uncertainty. Even though we're dealing with big government, frankly, millions of dollars, there's always that layer of uncertainty. So all you can do is project, and that's wow.
That's why.
That's August. We're talking 6 weeks from now.
That's why this is an action item. That's why we're discussing deconsolidation. It is an action item. You may want to say, we need to schedule some meetings between now and our regular August meeting, if that's what your choice is. Or you put all your money on May.
Okay. Procedurally, is there anything that prevents each board from meeting separately in public? That being thought of, and I'm just gonna speak from my side of the river. You know, we may want to have a special meeting to consider, do we want to do that? I'm talking about making a decision for August 29th, maybe next week. Let's start hashing it out. Let's not wait till the last minute. And you guys can decide to do what you want to do.
I have an important question.
And I apologize to the new Mrs. Green, because you're going to be on the hot seat.
I know, well, and it kind of includes you.
Okay.
I have a question. My question is, when will we get our financial projections and estimates for our new district?
Good question.
Cause that's kind of the key for us in knowing what we're short. When will we have that information to even discuss?
So,
Sorry.
so in Idaho, we know what a support unit is worth this year, and then there is a protection clause. So the next year, you're protected that you'll be within that by, it's a percentage that I don't know off the top of my head, so I don't want to say that percentage. So we do know that that we'll be protected within a certain amount. However, we don't know if there'll be a holdback. So they'll allocate that amount of money, but they may hold it back. I'm questioning my sanity every single day because I could be retired. And so, and this is tough. This is a tough decision, and I'm glad I don't vote when it comes down to that, because it's just, again, you have two opportunities. You have November, you have May. If you don't go in November and you go for May and you fail, you're done. You don't have another opportunity. You're looking at a year without a levy. But if you go in November, you're going to have to estimate and probably
Worst case
estimate
scenario.
a little bit high, because you don't have to collect money if you don't use it, but estimate high. And there's going to be a whole lot of informing the public between now and November.
Well, it does.
And there's
Yeah.
a lot of specifics we don't know. Are we combining principal and superintendent? There's gonna be a lot of reorganization, so we're not gonna know a lot of specifics either, so. It's
I
gonna
guess
be
that's
tough.
my main question. What date do we think we will have numbers for our district separate from a Grangeville district? That
Oh, you're going to
estimate?
have, I could give you tonight pretty close numbers.
Okay.
Okay, give me a week.
Okay, that's fine. That's
I
what
can
I'm wondering
get you-
is
then
how
I
much
can get
notice
you
will we
numbers in
have
the
to
ballpark,
discuss?
but I'm going to
Okay.
tell you again, all of those numbers are based on, we don't know what enrollment will be in the fall of 26, 27. We don't know what staffing in the different districts will be in the fall of 26, 27. And the support unit and holdback, what that's going to look like and what the federal government's going to do.
Yeah.
So there's just so much unknown.
Yeah, I understand it's an estimate. I just mean our
Yeah.
fraction of the estimate, I guess.
B?
So Comptroller Beeler already put those together and presented them at our last meeting last month. She already had them broken out,
Yes.
estimates,
Yes.
so maybe they could just get those
That would
in
be
an
really
email
helpful.
and just know that it's an estimate.
Yeah, that would be great. Just something to start off, I think would be helpful.
Yes, that's what I was thinking I was going to give, and then I was like,
I know,
but
it's just an estimate.
yeah, I can get those
Yeah.
numbers to you.
Oh, I understand. It's just an
Chairman,
estimate, but something.
I think, again, for us, that's a good place to start, but we got a ton of questions that we need to answer about the new Water Valley District. How are we gonna organize that district? We're certainly probably not gonna have a district office per se, it's gonna be at the school somewhere. And we need to bring our good friend here to the meetings and talk to us about that type of thing too. So we have a lot of questions that are gonna have an impact on whatever we need to do for a levy and whether or not we wanna go down that road. And what are the alternatives? Again, but the starting point is just that basic, back of the envelope, put the numbers and, see where it's at, and then we have to do our homework and figuring out, all right, how accurate is that going to be for us?
So, gee, I told you that I had some really fun things to discuss tonight, and I called it the L word.
Well, and when we were going through, we're still in uncertain times, but when we hadn't passed the levy and we didn't have the revenue, it just takes a lot of talking to the superintendent, talking to local districts, Cottonwood, Nez Perce, Craigmont, there's a lot of them that will answer the phone and answer any of your questions, especially with the food service contract. You guys might decide to go a different way. You guys might decide not to do Chartwells. You might decide to do what Orfino does and they team up with a co-op. That's what's nice about this, is these are the things that you can start investigating now.
That's one more point of clarity. In the social media chatter, I picked up that somebody said something about, well, deconsolidation is going to give us so much more money. Never once was that said. That doesn't make sense. You're still two schools, and the money is still the same. The only difference is you make decisions for your area and you make decisions for your area. So I just want to clarify that. There is no magic. This was not magic. No magic happened in that election. It just, well, it is. It is magic to have a voice in your own community.
I would guess if you run a levy in November, it's gonna be very generic. You're just estimating. You're not
Yeah.
gonna have many specifics.
That's always a levy. You never
You never
really,
do.
yeah.
But I mean, we hashed it out for weeks
Yeah.
last time.
Mhm.
It took weeks of hashing it out,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna know that by August. Anyway.
So do you
Any
wish
other
to
things you wanna
set some nights? Do you want to set a night for that? For a meeting before the next, the August meeting, which is August 21st?
Does anyone want to do that?
And what would this be for?
To just start a conversation about about possible levies.
So my agenda item would be levy 2026, 27.
Yes. And then there'd be
Oh.
two, one for Clearwater Valley, one for Grangeville. And I would recommend the first one, you meet together because you're all new into this, or most of you are new into this. And that first conversation, I could have separate numbers for you and you could talk about what that would look like and whether it's feasible or not, and then you could choose to have a meeting separately after that.
Like the first hour would be together, the
Yeah,
second
that'd be
hour
great
would
too.
be-
Whoa, I can't be in two places.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I can't.
I would just think, just a general overview of
Okay,
where we're
great.
sitting is
Perfect.
good for all of us.
What about Tuesday the 29th, July? Cause we were gonna do it between the
We were
August
gonna
meeting and
have-
then.
Oh, no, we can't meet the week of 28th through August 1 because
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
likely won't be power in any of our buildings.
There would be a gym.
Here, well, there would be at GEMS, but internet won't work, and because our server is at the district office.
What about August 5th?
Could I ask August 4th?
Yeah.
I'm not here. I'm out of cell service.
That's
August 5th will work as well. I can make it work.
I'm out then too.
Okay,
So
so
when
the
are
4th
you
would be better.
available?
I could be here the 7th.
I'm gone then.
Yeah, okay. Summer.
It's hard in the
I
summer.
know.
it's summer, yeah.
August 4th?
August 4th,
Sorry.
I can do
What
4th,
about the
5th,
11th?
6th.
I'm in Moscow that day.
Okay.
The 12th would also be another date that would work for me well.
Yeah,
No?
on vacation.
You're more than welcome to do the 11th. I can set mine to the clerk.
We had a hard time with 5 people.
Are we okay with the 4th?
I think
The 4th works for me.
You're okay
August
with
4th at 5 o'clock? Can you all make 5?
Is it here? To drive. Is it gonna be here or where will it be?
Here?
Well, if it's just, going over the, well, I guess it has to be public though, doesn't it?
It has to be public.
We do have the option to join by Teams.
You
or
could join,
whatever.
yeah. Mhm.
So,
Okay.
that is an option.
And you said 5 o'clock?
Okay.
So the agenda item will be levy.
Possible levy discussion, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to insinuate that decision's been made. because that is the
August
first
4th.
gut wrenching decision you will make.
Where? Here? Yeah.
And it's here.
Here.
So, is someone making a motion for that, or are we just all kind of agreeing to that? Or-
I move that we have a Mountain View, CV, Grangeville levy workshop, what is it?
There you go.
Workshop.
Levy,
It'd be a
oh, we
workshop.
just say
Workshop?
call it workshop?
Good idea.
At 5 o'clock at the high school here.
Do we have a second?
I think John.
We got a second.
Oh, I
Who
didn't
made
hear.
the second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
For further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That is everything I have for deconsolidation, and I promise not to be a buzzkill for the rest of the night.
Well, let's move on to just Grangeville here. Approval of band fee increase.
In your board packet, you have a letter from Bridget Purdy, asking for a band rental increase to $55. That helps cover maintenance, and wear and tear on the instruments.
I didn't read it. What's the, or what is it? This,
Band rental instruments.
no, I mean, what does it cost at this point?
Isn't it $50?
It's
$53.
53.
And now it's 55.
Or she would like it.
Or,
$2.
yeah, $2. I move that we approve the band fee increase for Grangeville School District 246, from $53 to $55.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Russell? Is that
Mhm.
what you think?
I'm gonna turn it over to you, Chairman O.
Do
Approval
we
of
need
senior
to have a
project.
vote on this as well?
No, this
No.
is the next,
The next item,
approval of
yeah.
senior
This is
project.
approval of senior
Okay. We have a senior project, is someone here that can talk about what's involved with the senior project that's being proposed?
Chair, or
Yes, sir.
Principal
It
Martinez.
says Brockmeyer on the agenda. It's actually two senior projects to combine Brockmeyer and Lincoln Barger. And he is here in attendance.
Who is it, Lincoln?
Lincoln Barger. He's in attendance.
B-A-R-G-E-R?
Say it again, please.
B-A-R-G-E-R? Okay.
That's correct. And so, he's
That
here.
Lincoln?
That is Lincoln. He's here to present for both, him and, Mr. Brockmeyer.
So I don't really know how this goes, but I just like to tell you about my brother.
Yep.
Tell these guys.
Yep, you're addressing
You're
these
speaking
five.
Okay.
Yes.
So does everybody just need to understand what we're doing for the project?
If you don't mind, can I chime in a little? First of all, thank you for allowing Lincoln and Brock to present to you even in Brock's absence. To bring you guys up to speed, new board members for our Clearwater Valley School Districts, first of all, thank you for being, putting your name in the hat and being elected. I appreciate that. Anytime Mountain View School District property, physical space gets rearranged in any kind or worked on or added to, modified, pre-existing, we need board approval, whether it's a senior, whether it's administrator, whether it's teacher. And so Lincoln and Barak have a senior project that would manipulate the baseball field area, and so that's why he's asking permission to proceed with the project. So I'll let Lincoln take it from there.
Thank you. Yeah, so our project is we're planning on building 2 outdoor batting cages for the away and home side bullpens. We'll be utilizing the space that is already there for the bullpens to make them into batting cages. And how we would do that is we would be extending the fences that are already there because the space that's there doesn't allow for a full swing. So we'd have to extend the fence and move the pitching mound and the home plate. And then we would have to get netting and cables for the actual cage so that when we hit, obviously the balls don't go everywhere. And basically that's the whole project. So we're basically just manipulating the bullpens, and that's the only changes that we're making. Yes.
How is this project being funded?
So yeah, we have plans for fundraisers for a bake sale, a wood sale, or like a car wash, and Brock also talked about doing, I think it was, a frozen drink sale at Kuski Days and other local events. So that's how we're gonna be raising money for that.
Local fundraising events, not from school funding.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. All the senior projects are self-funded by the senior project or whoever they bring with them to help
I have a question. So you're reworking the netting and the pens, but do you already have the pitching machines for those batting cages?
So our idea is, because we're using the bullpens, it will allow for both live pitching and batting. So the pitchers that are already on the team get pitching work, and the batters can work against live batting.
Okay, so it won't be a machine
Yeah.
batting cage. Okay, that's all.
We have a motion.
One more question. The current area, with the extending of the batting cages, would it cut into like any parking, any access for the other fields, anything like that? Will it interfere with any other uses by extending it?
So the away batting cage is kind of on, close to the shop,
Okay.
but there's like a little road there. But we would only be extending it like maybe 7 feet at most.
Okay.
And so it wouldn't actually like get in the way of the driveway that's there.
All right. So
And
there would
on the
still,
other side, it's just like a little yard.
so there would still be sufficient access around all the new facilities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. It wouldn't obstruct any kind of access, ingress, egress. The home side might take up a little bit of fan viewing area, but we have plenty of that area around our facility there.
I have a question. On these senior projects, you have advisors, right? Who was your advisor on this?
We chose Coach Bradley as
Okay.
our advisor.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
We have a motion.
I will move to approve Barrick Myers and Lincoln Barger's senior project for extending the batting cages.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a
Sorry.
second to move forward with the senior project for the batting cages. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed. You're on.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you
Very
for
nice.
presenting.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got another item here that I guess I'm up for. Approval of student parent handbooks. That came out in the material that was distributed here tonight. I don't know if any of you got that ahead of time or not.
It was emailed to them.
It was emailed. Have each of you had a chance to look at it?
I have not read through this.
It's
Are there any
just a
major
day.
changes from the year before?
There were
Okay.
no major changes, some staffing changes, date changes.
Okay.
The reason it's on the July agenda is because they need to have them printed so they can hand them out at registration, which will be during early August.
All right. Are you
I'm
comfortable
familiar
with moving forward on approving these? Again, the handbooks.
I'm familiar with it.
Okay. If you're comfortable with that, we have a motion to that effect.
Yeah, I'll motion to approve the Clearwater Valley Elementary School handbook and parent handbook and also, are we also approving for Elk City
Not
School?
yet.
Not
Just
yet.
one at a
Okay, so
time.
just for Clearwater Valley Elementary.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. You ready to move forward, Tracy?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
All in
Thank
favor,
you
say
for
aye.
asking.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passed. Next one is the Elm City School handbook. Any further discussion on that one? We have a motion to approve that handbook.
I will move to approve the Elk City handbook.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the Oak City, student parent handbooks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passed as well. And then the Clearwater Valley Junior Senior High handbook. Any comments or questions on that? Okay, if there are none, do we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve the Clearwater Valley Junior Senior High handbook.
Okay, have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the Clearwater Valley Junior Senior High School handbook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passed as well. All three passed.
Okay, back over to you, Tyler.
All right.
same thing. Approval of the student parent handbooks. Grangeville Elementary Middle School.
I move that we accept the Grangeville Elementary Middle School handbook, knowing there will be amendments in August with the new principal being hired on.
Like the insight there.
A second.
Can I talk
And-
about something?
Yeah, discussions, no, great.
This will be for the new principal, but I was just reading over this, that I do not see in here who the 8th grade science teacher is. Like it lists 7th grade science. So that would be something to
Can double check
Have her.
that.
amend.
Okay. Who is it?
Mrs.
Mrs.
Barger. will teach in
Barger.
all science.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
correction that needs to be on there.
Yeah. Just says 7th science and 8th grade.
Would you like to further
That's
amend
all.
your motion to include that, or?
Oh, I got it, yeah. It's-
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause that's my.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to Grangeville High School handbook.
I move that we, approve Grangeville High School's handbook as presented.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of extracurricular handbook, Grangeville High School. We have a motion there.
Can I just give a kudos to the athletic director, the coaches, and Mrs. Bush for getting this created? We didn't have an athletic handbook in the past, and it's very nice.
Well, and I did wanna add that even her high school handbook has many new edits that she must have been like keeping track of throughout the year, because it was very thorough. So I wanted to thank you for that as well.
Do we have a motion?
Yep, I moved it.
Do we have a
Okay,
second?
second. Yeah.
Okay,
Where
all in
Who
favor?
else?
Lane.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Trustee trainings.
Okay, I said I wasn't gonna
Okay.
have any heavy stuff left, but Idaho code does say that you all need to have 8 hours of training as new trustees. My recommendation is that we begin with the trickiest part for a trustee of a school district, which is open meeting law training. Assistant Prosecutor Matt Jessup did an amazing job. I don't know how many of you may or may not have been there, with doing a very nice presentation. And my recommendation is that we begin the August meeting an hour, he took an hour last time, an hour early, and do that open meeting training. That would be your first hour of training for you as new trustees.
Have you talked to?
I haven't asked yet. I'm just gonna cross my fingers
He'll be voluntold.
that he'll be available. He'll be nice.
We will at least
rafting
inquire.
season, I don't know.
It is
Yeah.
rafting season.
I know I will
might
be gone
not.
during that one, so I won't get that hour of training.
Okay, well, maybe
then
we
we
should shoot
need-
for September.
Yeah, let's shoot
And he
for
might be
Aren't
more
three of us gone during
available.
that one?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
I know
shoot
they
for
don't need
Okay,
it, but,
September.
then.
okay.
So we'll
I think
we'll
Tyler,
bring
you said
that
you
back.
might be gone as
Might
well.
be gone.
And that might give me time to ask him. Don't put that in the paper before I get a call.
Well, you don't need it.
So no action?
I'll-
We can just take a
she'll
no
find
action at this
out.
point in time?
Yep.
Just put it on the periphery?
Maybe we
Alright,
do the
perfect.
September.
September would be better.
That
And
would,
just
that
to
would be
kind
better.
of plan, I mean, you can always ask Superintendent Holthouse questions, but like, there were so many questions, like, can I call Tyler? Can I call, can we meet for lunch? Like, there's just so many, like, rules to being in this position that it's
So,
kinda hard.
so for instance, anytime there's a quorum, you're in a meeting, so an email is a quorum. So if you email, you can't email all the rest. You can't email 3 of your 5 of the same community, because that puts you into quorum and that violates open meeting law. The public has a right to know what you're discussing. There needs to be a posted agenda, it needs to be done in public. And so, if you have something that you really think all of us need to know, send it to the board clerk. Tracy is your closest friend here. Send it to her, and then she can appropriately get that information out to you. And then, don't fall into the trap of 3 of you happen to be at a baseball game, and somebody goes, "Oh man, that fence over there really needs to be addressed," and you fall into this discussion. It's so natural and so easy for that discussion to happen, because 3 of you from the same community, if two from one and one from the other, that wouldn't necessarily be a quorum, but that's not gonna happen. You just be really careful about, try really hard that you owe it to the community that you discuss and you run this district in a public meeting. And so if it happens, it's going to happen. You're going to catch yourself there somewhere. And you'll start that conversation. It's okay to say, there's this thing called open meeting law, and I'm not allowed to have this conversation. I'm going to walk away, and people understand, and they respect you.
Don't sit next to each other during a basketball game. Space yourself out.
Because it just happens, you'll start
It
talking
doesn't
about
look good.
a
Space
coach or
yourself
a
out.
whatever. Okay, so
Okay.
we will try to get Mr. Jessup on September's meeting.
Okay. Informational items.
Okay. As all of you know, you have been appointed on very, very short term. You will need to run for election again in November. And so in your board packet is the paperwork that you will need to complete if you are interested in running for your position again. And I believe the filing deadline is August 29th. So it's very close to get it completed and get the signatures and turned into the county. And if you have questions, we don't get to answer those questions. You do need to reach out to the county clerk for those questions because we're not allowed to help with that.
So the county clerk would be the one to tell us how many years each zone's term is?
No, that will stay in the same, thank you, that's a great question. That will stay in the same rotation. So this coming November, had Mountain View stayed in Mountain View, the zones that would have changed would have been Zone 5, Zone 3, and Zone 1. Weren't you, or just the two of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so those two positions will be 4-year positions that you're running for. So Zone 3 and 5, you are running for a 4-year seat. 1, 2, and 4, you are running for a 2-year position.
Even though I went from 3 to 4?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because 3 and 5, we have to keep in that same rotation.
Okay.
So 3 and 5 are up for election this year, therefore they get a 4-year election. 1, 2, and 4 are a 2-year, because then 2 years from now, it'll keep the rotation going forever. Okay?
You betcha. You betcha.
All right, so
Okay.
that was,
Motion to adjourn.
No,
Oh, go into
Need a motion to go into executive session, please.
Oh, we don't have to adjourn this to go in?
No, because then I will ask everyone to leave as soon as you make that motion.
Okay.
So
I need a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into executive session as per section 74-206, subparagraph 1 of the Idaho Code.
Do I have a second?
Can you please tell me,
A and B.
thank you?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Whoa. So in order to go into executive session, you actually need to have a roll call vote. So you
Oh,
need
roll
to
call.
have a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, please. We'll start at the end there.
Aye.
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 Aye.